Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks. Part 2 of this. This is going to be more mainly to help somebody paint these letters and put them back where they belong. So I'm thinking this is a board that is 18 by 5. So we're going to take a board and make it with our ratio unlocked. I'm going to go 18 by 5. And I'm going to make it red. I'm going to make it a hairline. And that's really beside the point, because you're probably going to most likely just have that wood. And it would be really better for the laser to cut it. So we're going to put that in the center. I'm going to group all this together for a second, and I'm going to put it in the center. But then I'm going to nudge it up out of the way. I actually need to nudge it more than 5 inches. I'm going to nudge it 6. And that's okay, because we can nudge all that and then hit P, put that in the center of the page. Now I'm going to ungroup this. Now I'm going to take this black border and I'm going to left click, right click, and make sure it's a hairline. Well, why won't it right click it? Okay. This doesn't have a center. So this is going to be the frame of this board. We're going to make it just, so you're really going to want to keep it as a hairline. Matter of fact, I'm going to make a duplicate of that and move it over. And I'm going to turn the inside like let's say we're going to use a blue for the outside ring. Okay. Now this is your one piece, so we're going to nudge it over the way. Now we're going to take these individual letters, the black part, and nudge them up. And you have that. Then go inside here and left click, right click. And those are going to be your letters to paint. That's going to be but it's going to be a little bit difficult to put them exact. And I do not like that. I would fix that right now. I would either reposition this or quite possibly contour a little bit more, because that little bitty piece is most likely going to burn away. So one thing we can do right now, we can just, and it would look pretty good, I believe. Let's take a 3-point curve line and just put a little curve of this, and then just take your virtual segment delete key and delete this. And you're not going to be able to tell the difference, because if we take this and put it up here, it's still going to fit in there quite nicely. Now we need to smart fill that section and put it up so that'll be all one piece. And then we'll get rid of the old section and we'll left click, right click. So these are your pieces that you need to cut out. And also, that might work. You might want to play around with the contour and make it a little bit bigger so you won't have these little bitty points. Maybe do it like 1.5. But what we need to do is make a duplicate of this and move it up. So there's your letters to cut out of what other kind of wood you're going to use. And then you're going to go in there and you're going to paint them that blue after you've used them. But what my suggestion is when you have this, if you cut this wood out in your laser, at the same time, you could lightly engrave those letters. And then what that's going to do is when you have to individually move these letters onto that board after you painted them, you've got an idea where it needs to go and be a good placement. And then the same thing for this little thing, you're going to want to cut it out. So we're going to make a duplicate of it. And you're going to left click, right click. Now this is really thin and fragile, but since you're only going to be moving it one time after you cut it, I would cut it, I would sand it. And sanding something like this that is real, I'm going to hit F4 on the keyboard. Sanding something like this that's real fragile my suggestion would be to whatever piece of wood you use, cut it out too. Cut this out, cut that out. This will fall out, but you can double-sided tape it, or not double-sided tape it. You can take a piece of blue tape and put it on the back, and that'll keep it from moving. So put it on the back side of your letters, and then to sand this off with an orbital sander before you paint it, and then of course blow all the dust off. I do this a lot. I do a lot of painting. So then when you paint this, whatever color you're going to paint it, and then put it inside your letters, and then put your frame. And that's one thing nice about nudging all the time, because you can nudge. So that's what it's going to look like. Of course, I wouldn't want the same, same color, for the outline as I would. That's terrible. Maybe even black would be the best. So that's what your item is going to look like. I'm a little bit concerned, we fixed this. I'm a little bit concerned about these little bitty parts. I might even make a part 3 and maybe try to eliminate that. But if you'll keep this board, this will be your backboard, and just lightly engrave it. I mean, don't spend a lot of, go real fast at, 100 speed at 100 speed to 100 power, and just mark it so you'll have an idea where to glue those blocks on. Because these are little bitty pieces, can get really hard to place. Anyway, I hope that helped them a little bit. Thank you for watching.